Yeah, righty. So yeah, I just had a yarn to Arco. He was sort of heading along the same lines as what I was, or what I was thinking. So I'm going to cut it in this corner somewhere. So probably start up here somewhere and cut a chunk out of it. You know, I don't know how much I need to cut, but something like that. I'll start off small. I might even just cut it up through the centre first, up to about here somewhere, and then just close it together and just slowly keep taking a little bit out and like tack it together in a couple of spots and then test fit it, and I'll do the same on the other side. But what I'll do is I might do the worst side first, because then I can, if I need to reshape this or just pull it around a little bit to get it to join and get a nice radius in there, I can still do that, and I can even, I don't know whether I can roll it in there, do a wee bit of a roll in the English wheel once I get it ground up and cleaned up so it looks nice. You know, I can do that if I have to too. So, but yeah, I think that's the only way to do it. Otherwise, if you do it back in here and try and pull it across, it's going to look clear. Whereas we're just gathering in, basically, you're just shrinking that steel out of it basically, and trying to get it to come back over. You know, you're sort of trying to get this to move that way, and just pulling this edge around a little bit to meet back up with it, so you're losing, you know, that material. But just trying to separate. It starts about there. You can actually see where this guy's marks are for his radius. So if I split it, probably actually about this line here, up here, I'll draw a proper line there with the ruler, or a straight edge or something. This is where I'm going to start anyway. So I'll cut it down. Down here, I think. That looks like about the middle. I'm just trying to look at the flats, where it's flats and then it starts curving around, which is about here. So that's roughly about the centre. It doesn't need to be dead on centre. And then we can obviously trim a little bit out and roll it together, and that'll help pull this across. In theory. So yeah, and then it won't alter the shape of this. And in theory, this should be reasonably level. I can alter that a little bit if I need to, dress it up, tidy it up later on. But yeah, we'll cut it down through here and just try and work out how much I need to. I might even just overlap, if you know what I mean, and tack it and see what it is, and then we can just zip cut down the centre and pull the two ugly bits off that we don't want. That might be the way to do it. Put a cutting disc on the grinder. So I've just cut that. So what I decide I'm going to do, I think probably the quick, fastest way to do it. So it sits in here. Pair of vice grips. And then move that over. Sit that like that. Slacken this up a little bit. Yeah, something like that would be nice. Now I can get the finger behind there now. So, probably what I should do is I'll cut the other side, cut this down through here, and do the same thing. pull it in and get that relief in there, have a bit of a measure up, just get where I'm happy so that both sides are nice and even, and I'm happy with how it sits. And yeah, we'll go from there, I think, because now that I've got that clamp, I can, I can cut back down there, cut the piece off that I don't want, and wear it together, Yeah, I think my finger in there nicely. I can even bring it in a little bit more if I have to. But yeah, that's what's nicer. Sweet. So yeah, I'll cut that, bring it back over, get another pair of vice grips, and we'll just double check a few things, and yeah, we'll go from there. Right, now to fix the tripod. We'll cut this back edge of this, and then hopefully after lunch I can get it all out together again. I'll quickly take it over there, clip it together, work out where I need to, how much material I need to cut off it, or take off it, and get things so the gaps are all nice both sides, and then I'll bring it back over and I'll quickly show before I bugger off. Righty, so this side here needs hardly anything taken out of it, probably just a little slice off this edge, like it's only going to be like just a little piece of material off there, and then it'll just close it in. Might have to just double check it, but yeah, it's only so taking that sort of relief cut and a little bit more just to pull that away. But this side here, I'll take this clamp off because I've got the lines on there. So it needed that much taken off here. So roughly it needed, yeah, basically a little bit over 3/4 of an inch taken out at this bottom edge for it to line up. It's had a piece of wire rolled in there too, so what I'll do is when I weld it together, I'll make sure I just nick it back a little bit, just to this top bit, so I can actually burn into the wire as well and get it so it's good and strong still. But yeah, by the time I cut that back here, pull that together, join it together, and it actually, funnily enough, how this how this here before was sitting, like about that much above that cross member. Now that I've actually relief cut that, it actually sits down, and it actually physically sits in there quite nice, and it's basically just a little bit of clearance. So obviously when you clamp everything together, and possibly with a little rubber block or something just on the bottom of that radiator, this actually sitting nice and down and snug now. So that's cool. So that obviously wasn't fitting at all. So yeah, we'll just take a little shave off that corner, weld that, or do a couple of spot welds in that, nick that piece out, pull it together, and do a couple of tack welds in that, and then just refit before we 100% commit to gluing it together properly. But that should only take me, hopefully, by the time I get finished today, I'll have it welded together, and then we can start cleaning up, obviously. But that's cool, because that fitted ugly as poo before, and now it should fit really nice. Got a little trolley for the weld. I'm going to stick the plasma cutter beside it in there as well, so it should be nice. That was just the owner's son whipped up a little trolley out of something. So yeah, at least I got something there to put the freaking welder on. That's nice. Roll it around. Alrighty, let's get into making this fit properly. But so far that looks good. But I sort of noticed when I set this back in there that I might have to just play with the side a little bit, because just to get the angles right, it sort of, this looks like it's sitting back a little bit on the side, just this face. So I might just have to just trim this little piece off, tack it together just with a couple of tacks, sit it back in there, and I might have to trim a little bit more off it just to get this to sit so it's even and you're looking down on it. It looks like this side here is okay, this side's sitting back, so it's sort of like it's not sitting flush. I'll just have to pull it forward to make it look right, so I might just take a couple of trims just to get it right. So I'll just see if I can clamp it in the right place. I'm just not sure if I can. I might have to trim some off first. Back in a minute. So I'll just quickly show you what I mean here. So if I look down on top, you can kind of see there, right there. See if I have this back in here like that, so it's sort of sitting like this distance here is bigger than this one here. Sort of, I don't know if you can see that or not. Hopefully you can. It just doesn't seem to be sitting square, so this needs to come forward a little bit. It's almost like so I might have to trim a little bit more off it than I thought I did, just to get that, you know, to get that position right and that shape right. That's cool. We'll play with it. We'll get it. Yeah, so it wasn't enough where it is. It needs to come forward a little bit more, so I'll just cut a little bit more out of it and just straighten these up a little bit. Righty, so I'm fairly happy with it now. What I might have to do when after I've got it welded up and cleaned up, I might just have to roll this a little bit, just change the shape of this roll a little bit, just to get it sitting where I want. But I think if I take too much more, it's going to be miles away. Whereas the other end, I've only just got, I can sort of get my finger in there nicely, you know, between where that bolt is and the spring and stuff. I can get my hand in there nicely, where this is starting to get quite a gap. So if I just roll that slightly, I think I'll end up with a better result than chopping it out to get it to look right. So yeah, I just need to roll that a little bit differently. But yeah, I think we'll be right. I'll just hammer and dolly this a little bit and weld it up, I think. that's cool. That's at least welded together. More about the rest of them more later today. Well, that's cool. At least I got that far. But like always, gotta go. Morning, guys. So back here. So I'll get into this. I'll just keep it pretty brief. Just start up. So I'll clean up on the outside. Actually, no, I won't. I'll turn around. I'll give it a clean up on the inside, and obviously weld on the back side. Just make sure it's no pinholes and all that sort of stuff. And I'll do it from the other side, and then I'll clean up both sides and obviously dress it up and clean it up. Then yeah, this side, I think here I've got to do a little bit of reshaping in this piece in the corner, just to get it to sit slightly different. I think I've got to. Yeah, I've got to play with the corner anyway, so just radius this little piece just to change how it sits. But apart from that, should be all good. We'll get into it. Right, so I've done this corner on the outside with barely no idea even been there. So I've just got to grind this one back and clean it up now. I'll try and see down here and let you watch if you can. I'll come back when I've fixed it. Righty guys, so I've got this all, I've got it all re-welded up and dressed up and cleaned up. I roughly cleaned up on this side, and then obviously on the other side just with the wire wheel, and I think I run over with the DA on the outside but not the inside, I don't think. I can't remember. Yeah, I think I might have finished the outside for the back side, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I've got a little bit of, it's pretty good. I just want to do a little bit of tweaking in this corner and maybe a little bit in there, and just here with the wire, because it's got a wire in here like with that rolled pieces. I just want to re-tweak this, just how it sits, to sit a bit more like this. But it's only just, it's just a little bit of just massaging the metal basically. And this here, I just want to flatten this out a little bit and just roll this a little bit further. Yeah, I just want to put a bit more corner in here, so it sits a little bit more further that way, if you know what I mean. Just so it sits round a little bit better, and just sort of flatten this out and just round out a little bit more. So this piece comes out a little, and you know what I mean. It's like it's bugger all. It's just probably straighten it to here, if you know what I mean, and then radius it instead of being curved from here. Just bring it back that way. You know, quarter, sort of quarter to a half an inch, 3/8 of an inch sort of type thing. Somewhere in there, just make that a little bit flatter, a little bit, so it just sits a little bit nicer. And I might just have a wee dolly up in this corner because I've got a bit of a funny joint just right on that edge, but I think I can just dolly that, make it look better. And if I have to, I can just put a little bit of extra weight on that and just tidy it up a little bit. So it's just finishing touches really. And by the time you body work it and like filler and whatever, it'll be, nobody will ever know that I cut it and modified it and made it sit a shitload nicer, because that sits really nice now. That's really nice and straight. That's perfectly what I want, and this just needs a little bit of massaging. It's hardly anything. Let's see if I can show you down here. So now I can get my finger in there, which is what I wanted. And this side I could just get my finger in there before, but the gaps, it's not really too big. I just, with that massage in that corner, that'll just bring that back across, and obviously just work this little piece, and it'll close that gap up a little bit. It's a little bit big, but it's not bad. I just would like to be able to sit my finger in there snugly like the other side without going like that, but it's just a little bit of massaging and tweaking. It's hardly anything really. So I'll get that done. I'll give this a bit more of a clean up, tidy those little pieces up, and probably wire wheel and DA the rest of it and whatever, just try and get it cleaned up nice. Yeah, and I don't know if this will work in that English wheel. I thought about maybe just running an English wheel, but it probably might be a little bit tight. I don't know, just to try and smooth that where I've welded, but I don't think it'll matter much. I might be even better just run the dolly along there and just, if it is a little bit uneven, just to dolly it. But yeah, that's cool. Like by the time you put a smear body filler in around there, like it's probably going to have a smear across it anyway, and then I'll probably, when I get him to order the paint and we get the high build, I'll probably get him to get, I know Arco always talks about putting shitloads on, so I think that's probably what I'll do once we get it cleaned up and happy with everything and got, body filler on when it needs it, and we're really happy. Then I'll probably, like he says, you're better off to put, well, he's talking in gallons, so a gallon is about 4 litres, give or take, because that's what we buy. Most of our paint in here is 4 litres, which is, it's not exactly a gallon, but it's close, if you know what I mean. So I'll probably pour 8 litres of high bit on this, mainly on the outside panels. Like in the inside, it'll just get a quick flick and whatever, a couple of coats, and then obviously it'll be sealed up and painted or whatever, or whatever we decide to do. But the outside bodywork, where it needs it, we'll just pour it on. So when we block it back, we can get our arrow straight. Actually, one thing I'd actually love to get hold of, I want some Durablocks, but I also want, I don't know if Arco can help me out there, or whether I can talk to that guy, that Lucky Blocks guy, and get some of those Lucky Blocks like Arco uses for that final bodywork. I'd love to try them out because I've never used anything like those, like those blocks. It'd be nice to actually use them and see what they're like and actually get a feel for them for myself. I haven't really used Durablocks either, but I've used things that are very, very similar. But yeah, so hopefully, when he orders some paint, because I've only got some big wide blocks. I want some of those big long Durablocks and the sticky back paper and stuff like that, especially when we're getting that real sort of smoothed out point. Obviously got to cut the door handle hole and bits and pieces like this. That's all. That's lots of little things to do, but we're getting really close to obviously more clean up and fitting. But we'll get this finished. just so you guys can see, that's the back side of that repair. You barely pick it, like, you know, with obviously a bit more clean up, and that's the other side. Whereas where I had those problems and blew it out, because I just, obviously when I probably should have went back to this side and done another weld down the outside, just to help build the material up. But yeah, I just didn't have it right. You know, it's one of those things. To go back and weld it and put a little bit extra meat in here and there and grind it back and clean it up. Righty guys, so I've given it a few little tweaks. I might just give it, as you've seen, I sort of straighten this out and push this back over a little bit, but I might just knock this just a little tighter in here, just to bring this edge just to forge a little bit through here. But apart from that, it's freaking is spot on. When I stick my finger in here now, it's, you know, like I can just sort of move it. So it should be like the other side now, I think. Yeah, it's probably slightly snugger on the side, but before that it'll matter. And it should even, probably when I pull that forward, that'll probably just tighten that up a little bit more. But, oh, that's beautiful now. That's nice. I'm really happy with that. That came out good. Yeah. I think it looks pretty good. The only thing I might do is when I get all this bolted down, I might just check, because I don't know, just standing here, I just noticed, I just wonder if that corner is higher at that, when I'm talking, trying to get my finger in the right place, at that radius in that corner, I just wonder if that looks higher here than it does there, to the ground. It's almost like it sits up in that corner. I need to check that. Just make sure that is sitting properly. Because worst comes to worst, I'll just cut this side and just pull it up a little bit if I have to, or just actually I can just probably add some material around there or something. Just run a bead of weld around that piece and just pull it down, if you know what I mean. Like, unless you're climbing underneath it, you're not going to see it. Or I could run a pie slice through there and just pull it down and re-weld that up. It's a pain in the ass to have to do it, but I'd rather it be right than not. I didn't notice that before, but now that it's almost sitting in the right place, kind of see it, but maybe if I give that extra little tweak, it mightn't show up. But yeah, when it gets all bolted down, that'll be the time to check it, because then I'll be able to see. But yeah, apart from that, it looks good. Yeah, that just concerns me a little bit, but it might be just the way it's sitting because it's not clamped down. Anyway, we'll catch you after lunch. This door's got a stupid hole in it here. I'm going to clean it out and weld it up, and then re-profile this one. This is very sharp in here, this is a lot more gentle. But I can't use it because it looks like shit. So I'll fix this. I'll give it a sandbar and then weld it up. Still a bit warm. It's not hot, but warm. Oh, that coffee's good. One road profile dolly. Like I could get in there, get more fussy and like clean up some of these little bits and stuff, but it doesn't need to be that good. It's just like now I can actually hold it around that panel and make it just a little bit nicer now. And to be honest, before it was so poorly finished in here, it was like all big, it was a really ugly casting and never been finished properly anyway, so it's back better than it was. So it hasn't hurt anything. Like I didn't destroy a dolly to do that, but it was already pretty crap anyway. But now it actually fits around that corner quite nicely. good. Oh, just check the time and I'll come back in a second. Righty guys, so I think I'm fairly happy with that now, until we get it clamped down. Like I won't be 100% sure, and it obviously needs a little bit of rust treatment and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how that sits. I think it's sitting pretty even. Like I said, whenever we clamp it down and put the radiator and all that sort of grill shell and all that sort of stuff in there, we'll have a wee bit better idea of just how it is 100% sitting. But I think it's pretty good. It's a damn sight better than it did before I started choppering and altering it. And it doesn't look wrong, so that's the main thing. Before it didn't look right at all. So we'll head home for another day, and we'll see you again Monday. Hopefully I'll get some videos up over the next couple of nights. Try and get these videos together and get some up. I still haven't had a chance to get one up. But anyway, I might have to go through the one that I've done and just shorten it up a little bit. Just I might just re-edit one of them. But anyway, we'll catch you later on. Cheers guys. See ya.